We are getting a tad close to Bangor, number one.
Aye, sir. All ahead flank, helmsman.
We are still going astern.
She isn't responding, Captain.
Engineering, all ahead. Oh, just turn the engines off.
I say, number one, that's a bit of a jolt. Where did she hit?
Officer's mess, sir.
Be a good chap, number one, and send the steward down to check the beer, would you?
Aye, aye, skipper.
Good evening. Good evening, one and all. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Shalini. Good to see you. I don't think there's many other people in yet, but hey, they might come along. They might well come along. And so they should, because we're going to talk a little bit about the state of the UK Armed Forces. And in particular, the report that's been released by the Defence Select Committee. Oh, hello, Julie and Dreadeye. Good. After I've talked about that, if there's anything you want to throw at me in the chat, feel free, and we'll have a chat about that as well. This is a kind of impromptu show just to give you a little bit of extra. Don't do them very often, but we might do them more, And Ben says I have to plug his t-shirt, his Corn Pop t-shirt. So if you haven't seen it, please go on YouTube and look at it. As always, if you feel like donating to us, you can do through Ko-fi. This is the second month of the year. Times are hard, but I appreciate that times are hard for you guys as well. And also, I shall be on TNT tomorrow morning at 9:20 AM on the Rick and Natalie show. So join me there if you feel so inclined, or you have the time or inclination. Or if you don't. Nobody's going to hold it against you. Right. So let's get to where we're going with this. So here we go. Ready for war. The House of Commons. So the House of Commons Defence Committee ready for war. First report of this session, and it was published on the 30th of January 2024, so just more or less hot off the presses. Good evening, Mark. Good to see you. So I'm going to read the summary, basically, because you won't be able to read it on screen. It's there so you can see it if you wish. But the report's available on the government websites, as always. And it's not particularly hard to find. It's not hidden. It's quite obviously there. And there's also stuff on YouTube about questions that they sent to the various top brass. Did you see? I digress, but did you see the guys in the thumbnail with the curtain tiebacks? My God, it's ridiculous. The braids loop through there. It's just ridiculous. What's all that for? I mean, we're not ramping about with swords and bugles and things anymore, are we? You don't need all the curtain tiebacks. Anyway, so this report concentrates on the readiness of the UK Armed Forces to fight a war, which, given the recent rhetoric from the government, from Rishi Sunak, from Grant Shapps, from Lloyd Austin, and from quite a few other people on Twitter, it seems to be that that's what we want to do. We want to go to war. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I do. You know why we want to go to war? Because how do you get out of recession? You go to war and fight your way out, don't you? Because you motivate the country, you bring back industry, you start building things, you rubblize the other team, which then gives you the opportunity to go in and rebuild them at great personal expense to them and to your profit. And look, America made a fortune out of World War II. So anyway, let's crack on with this. So readiness. is the ability to deploy personnel and equipment within a set time frame, and for the personnel to be trained in the use of that equipment effectively, and for the armed forces to be able to sustain the deployment until the mission is accomplished. It's quite important there. The wording is actually quite important, because till the mission is accomplished. So if you're actually going to war, you should really have a mission with set goals. And this is something that we've not been particularly good at. In fact, we're doing it right now because we're bombing the Houthis and we don't have set goals. Because we don't actually know what we're doing. I mean, effectively all we're doing is making glass in the desert by dropping, high explosives on it. Or big bunkers, we don't seem to have a mission. We don't know what the end game is. And given the fact that America and Saudi Arabia have been knocking the proverbial, out of the Houthis for the last 10 years, it doesn't seem to work, because the Houthis don't really have any base as such. They're very mobile. So once they're fired, they move. And they hide, move and hide, move and hide. So regardless of your satellites and where you think they are, by the time your typhoons get there, the Houthis aren't, because it doesn't seem to make any difference to their ability to respond and to fire upon things. And in fact, all that we seem to have achieved is that we've now got British and American and European ships as viable targets in the Red Sea, instead of just the ones that were delivering goods to Israel. Which makes it a bit of a problem, because now everybody's got to go around the Cape. But it's only going to drive the prices up for us, because, everybody else makes money. China's going to make money, the shipping companies will make more money, the government will make more money in taxes. Inflation will go up a little bit. Hey, but, who's going to suffer? Yeah, we will. We'll suffer. So anyway, they came up with 3 main points from this report. Operational readiness. Okay, the ability to deploy a force for standing commitment, that means a length of time, or respond to a crisis. We find this to be proven, albeit with a caveat, with issues of overstretch. Therefore, if we were responding to a crisis or had a long-standing commitment to honour, it's likely that our armed forces would be overstretched. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah. Because let's face it, our armed forces are overstretched as it is, because we can't even deploy our aircraft carriers, can we? We're maybe getting one of them out. We're having to call everybody back from leave to put that one out. Prince William's got to go out because Queen Elizabeth has thrown a shaft or something like that, or thrown a bearing on a shaft or whatever. But this seems to be a recurrence of the problem that initially affected Prince William. What was it, nearly 2 years ago? So why didn't they fix it then? Someone said that Queen Elizabeth was scheduled time in dry dock for this to be fixed in the near future. Too late. Too late. No point in having 2 aircraft carriers if you can't use them. Anyway, secondly, war-fighting readiness. Now, this is if someone attacks us and the government's cracking on about Russia are ready to move in. We've got to be prepared as part of NATO, to respond to them, because, if Ukraine falls, who's next? Who's next indeed? Because Russia's obviously on a war footing, and they're just going to keep going, aren't they? Yeah, they've been fighting in Ukraine. They've captured about, less than a third of it, and they're just going to keep going. They'll storm right across Europe and take us on in Britain. Or will they? So anyway, warfighting readiness. The ability to deploy and sustain a force that can fight at high intensity in multiple domains for a prolonged period of time. We find this to be in doubt. Yeah, I think I'd concur with that one. I think that's very much in doubt. And then thirdly, strategic readiness, the ability of the state to identify and utilise all the tools available to it to support a warfighting effort. This appears And this is a good one. This appears still to be more of a concept under debate within the government rather than an agreed policy with measurable deliverables. Well, here we're back to mission. We don't have a clue what the government don't have a clue what they're going to do in the event of a war, and they don't have any clear game plan. Oh, no surprise there then, because this sounds pretty familiar to how they approached the other incident maybe 4 years ago. Didn't really have a game plan there either. They were winging it, as the great leader Nicola Sturgeon said, or Hamza. Right, so it's unacceptable that for much of this inquiry we have been hampered. Now, this is a Commons committee, so these are made up of MPs, hampered in our attempts to assess readiness by a lack of government transparency. Key information that was readily available a decade ago is no longer published for reasons that are unclear. So it's not national security. The government has taken excessive time to respond to our requests for information, and they've held one informative and useful exchange with the government at a classified level, but are unable to reflect this in a public report. So they've got some classified information, but they can't, tell us. We cannot adequately fulfil our duty to the House of Commons and to the electorate to hold the government to account. Well, it's nice to hear someone trying to do their job. It's nice to hear. They need fuller and more timely access to the information to these sensitive but vitally important issues that are central to the remit. We expect the government to work with us to design a more balanced framework to allow us and future defence committees to scrutinise readiness. I wouldn't hold my breath, old chum. I would not hold my breath. So the UK Armed Forces have deployed above their capacity. Well, you think? Well, when you've got your Prime Minister charging about pretending to be a world power when really we are very much the younger brother now. We really don't have the clout we used to have. We don't have the ability we used to have. We don't have the materials we used to have. We don't have the resources we used to have. We don't have the people we used to have. And we don't have the weapons we used to have. In fact, let me show you. Let me show you the current state of affairs. This is a Type 45 destroyer. Okay? Where the gym is where the cruise missile should be. But they didn't buy them because they didn't have the budget. So all our Type 45s are running about with gyms in place of cruise missiles. That's going to be really effective, isn't it? We're really, when we got all our pumped up sailors out there, showing their biceps and massive legs off, it's going to terrify everyone. Yeah, that's going to work well. So, as I said, the UK Armed Forces have deployed above their capacity in response to the worsening security situations, but have a capability shortfalls and stockpile shortfalls. Well, yeah, because we sent all our stuff to Ukraine. I mean, of course we've got capability and deployment shortfalls. And we're losing personnel faster than you can recruit them. Have you seen the state of the adverts for not just the UK Armed Forces, but in particular the American Armed Forces? They are wokey piles of nonsense. They're just absolute nonsense. They wouldn't appeal to anyone who wanted a career in the armed forces. And they certainly wouldn't appeal to the people that you want to have a career in the armed forces. So there is no easy answer to these problems. Well, there kinda is. It's effectively spend more money and try and stop being so woke. But, that's not really going to happen, is it? We recognise the government is considering options for improving recruitment and retention of personnel, also aiming to reform its procurement system. And I had a really interesting conversation with Super Soldier number 6 tonight about procurement. That was very interesting because, let's face it, if the government can do anything that lines its own pockets, it's procurement. They've done it for the NHS and they've done it for the military in the past. In fact, the military-industrial complex is built on the ability to massively procure things that inflated prices that actually don't make any difference to the warfighting capability of the services. So anyway, end rant. With a view to building industrial capacity so that munition stockpiles can be replenished. Oh, so they now want to be able to start building munitions in our own country instead of having to buy it or ship it in from other countries. And that would maybe mean that we need to produce things like steel, but we're just closing our steel mill. Or we're letting Tata close it. Maybe the government needs to step in and have some kind of, contingency plan for retaining some kind of steel making, just on the off chance that we actually do need to fight a war at some point. And I'm not saying today or tomorrow, but 10, 15 years down the line, the world might be a completely different space. We welcome these initiatives, but we're aware that previous reforms have not had the desired effect, i.e. whatever they've done before didn't work. It's clear the government will never achieve warfighting or strategic readiness without a thriving industrial base and without an offer that can attract, develop and sustain enough service personnel that are skilled to meet the increasing and evolving military challenges that we as a nation face. These reforms need to work and at pace. Not going to happen, is it? Because we're not going to industrialise. We haven't been doing so. I mean, we have a look at what Putin's done over the last 18 months in Russia, and he's gone from, complete normal peacetime to a war footing for his industry, and they're churning out equipment that does the job. It might not be, and I mean, some of it is, but it might not be the most cutting edge. It might not be the most brilliant. It might not be dragon fire. It might not be throwing lasers at people, but it's effective, it's cheap, and it's on the field. And that's where we're failing at every turn. We're not effective, we're not on the field, and it's not cheap. I mean, we've pulled the escort ships from Falklands, so we're not sending escort ships to Falklands as a matter of course anymore. We've got one fishery protection vessel in effect that's out there. And while Argentina has run its military down, apparently they have just ordered 3 warships and a submarine. So maybe you want to keep an eye on them, because they've already made noises about wanting the Falklands back. And here we go, the last paragraph, just in case you're getting bored. Despite the United Kingdom spending approximately 50 billion a year on defence, so if it's on defence, why are we in the Red Sea? That's 3,500 miles away from London. Huh? Who are we defending? Yeah, we're defending foreign corporations' interests. That's who we're defending. And remember, that 50 billion does not include the money that we've sent to Ukraine. UK's armed forces require sustained ongoing investment to be able to fight a sustained high-intensity war alongside our allies. And here is the rub. And these 4 words might sound innocuous, but they really put the death knell in the UK's armed forces. And that is against a peer adversary. Because that's the problem. Both America and the UK and most of Europe have not fought a peer adversary since World War II. And if we'd gone to war against Russia, maybe 4 years ago, we'd probably be pretty well matched. Not the UK, but NATO. But now that Russia's had the experience, the knowledge, and has ramped up its war machine, it's more than a peer adversary. It would wipe the floor with us. And anyone who thinks it wouldn't and thinks that our high tech will save us only needs to look at Vietnam, only needs to look at Afghanistan. Because these people had nothing and they wiped the floor with us. So, Britain's far from ready for any kind of war. It's far from fit. Not ready to take on anyone. We're no longer a world power, and it's a horrible thing to say. We're no longer a force in the world. We really should be sitting on the sidelines. We should be licking our wounds, and we should be making ourselves better internally. But we can't even secure our own borders. So what hope have we got? It's not you. It's the problem. It's the government. And in my view, we just need to change that system. But that's it from me. Have you got any thoughts on this? If you have, give us a comment. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. I mean, I could be. Not normally, but it could be. And if I am wrong, as you know, I will put my hand up and take it. If you've liked it, a like, share, and subscribe would be really appreciated. And if you've got the wherewithal, a little donation is always appreciated. So, to the chat room, how you doing, guys? Anything you want to say? Yeah, we do have to go following the USA. Yep. Okay. It's been great, as always, for you.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?